What's up, YouTubers? We got the gas pump dump blues. So I'm at the house, took a little break from the East Coast over there and came home, and of course everything went to pot. But so here we are. We got the Mini Cooper, and basically what happened was it left my son stranded at the movie theater on Friday night. So we did a little bit of troubleshooting. Thought it was a high pressure fuel pump. Me and him changed the fuel pump real quick, and that wasn't it, of course. We got my code scanner, and we'll go to high pressure fuel system, select all, and basically what I was looking at was the rail pressure set point versus the actual, and the set point was about 725 psi when it on starting, and this maybe went up like 10 psi. So usually that's a bad high pressure fuel pump, which these are notorious for failing. So I changed it out. Me and the boy changed it out, which it's right here. Took maybe about an hour, and turns out that was not it. So, and it's quite an expensive fix. You can find them from $700 to $1,600 from various over the internet supply places. You're probably going to pay about $2,000 at the dealership, but unfortunately it turned out to be the low pressure fuel pump. And the reason I didn't look at that is because I changed that probably a year and a half, 2 years ago, and we'll look at we'll go through a couple things on that. But first, let's look at here's the one that I got overnighted to me, and I have a new fuel filter. We'll drag the tools over there. So, and then Old Faithful fuel pump on it went out. So that's where we're at, all in like 2 days. And I call it Old Faithful, not that it starts every time or runs every time, but if there's something wrong with it, I can usually troubleshoot it within about an hour and get it running for under $100, unlike modern computer controlled cars. So anyway, another thing that the Mini Coopers are notorious with is for failing on the fuel system is the fuel pump relay. And unfortunately, the fuel pump relay is integral to the JBE, which Mini calls a junction box electrical unit, which is over here. And the only way to do that is to take that out and replace the integral solid state relay. And it's a two dual plane board. In other words, it's two electronic boards connected together, and it's pretty tricky. I have the original JBE, which I thought the solid state fuel pump relay was bad, which it wasn't, which is a whole another story. So I got another one, programmed it to the VIN on this Mini, and didn't fix it. So anyway, that's all right. I have that circuit board, or that JBE, and maybe make a video on changing that solid state relay out. Anyway, let me get to work, and y'all can watch the whole deal. So let's back up just a little bit. Since it didn't start after I replaced the high pressure fuel pump, what I did was disconnect the low pressure input, hit the start key, and I got nothing. Another thing we did was, originally why I replaced the original fuel pump was because in troubleshooting and blah blah blah, anyway, this broke off because it was old and plastic. So just to make sure the relay wasn't bad, on the JBE, I plugged up our old fuel pump. Put this in the back. What I did was, listen for it. I don't know if you heard the old pump coming on. But so now we know that the junction box is okay. So the next thing is to change that stuff out. So the fuel filter's on that side, and then the fuel pump's on this side. So we're gonna swap all that out. All right, I need my 10mm socket. Normally, if you're doing this and you have a fuel pump that is working, you should wait a day until either the pressure bleeds down or be very careful when you're disassembling it, because these do hold pressure for a long time. It's not like hundreds of psi, it's more like in the tens, probably 40, 50. But you don't want to get fuel all over the inside of your nice car. Go. And if I remember right, and there we go, still holding a little bit of pressure. So I've had critters living in here, which we need to take care of that. I don't know where they're at or what they're doing. this. I don't remember. I think. Yeah, we just pry up on this. Let me get a bigger screwdriver. Try not to break that. Vacuum. I don't want to drop a bunch of walnuts in the, or pecans in the fuel system. There we go. Remember how to do this. I want to say And I want to say this twist because you can see the cutouts right there. Do I need to turn it a little bit more? Oh, there we go. Wow. Ooh. Oops. Oh, wow. Oh. I guess GoPro doesn't like gasoline, huh? That's not good. Oh. Oh, let's fix this real quick. Hopefully that'll work for now. So I think that O-ring goes there because when I pulled it off, it is in the bowl already. I got two other small O-rings. So there's another O-ring, goes right there on that. There we go, and we got some of this to lubricate our O-rings, which you don't need. You can use Vaseline. I'm just using this from previous jobs that I've had. Anything just to help keep the O-ring from rolling or pinching. We got a little bit on there. That gets pushed on there. You want to make sure that's seated well. I'm not going to replace that lower O-ring because it's submerged in gas. So now we're going to put this back on, and our orientation was this way. There we go. All right, I think we got it locked in. And then put our new O-ring on. Good Lord. So I don't remember how this fits on there. Because the lip has to fit under. Oh my God. Oh my God. Maybe get a better spot back here. Lord help me. These are different ones, because they gave me two of them. That's the original. That's the new one. This side down. just making this more complicated than it is. I think I might. Woohoo! I think we got it. Wow. Whew. So the trick is I guess to kind of lift it a little bit, almost get it in there and kind of work it, I don't know, work it around. It's just way harder than I think it needed to be, or I made it that way. Let's get our $1,500 BMW service tool. I know one thing you gotta make sure of is that these are tight, or else you'll get a return to tank, or I forget what the ECM code is, EGR, or vent valve, something, some kind of code. I think that's tight. Stick that back in there. There we go. Whew. Like I said, way more complicated than it needed to be. And my battery's about to die. So let me change out the battery. And we'll be right back. Alright, back with the batteries. Now we're gonna try to pop our oh man. There we go. Disconnect our fuel level senders. Our suction line. Don't remember how this comes out exactly. There's our pressure. That's your fuel center. There's that spring. Just love sticking my hand in gas like this. Anything else down there? Oh. Alright. Here's our new O-ring for our new fuel pump. So, oh, leg cramp. Ooh. We'll kind of stick that in like that. That's not gonna work. Okay, there's that. We've got our fuel center connected. Our suction line. Here's our return. I don't know if it's going to snap in or not. If I can get the return to snap in right there. I don't know if you can see that or not. Snap in right there. this one presses in a lot easier. Does have a spring on it, so you got to kind of press down the same time. Same time you're fitting the ring on. Again. Got to get it tight. Connector, electrical connector. Lock it down. Let's connect our low pressure pump. Line underneath it. So we don't spray gas everywhere. That. Just put that right there like that for right now. Alright. I'm going to leave our little covers off just to make sure we don't have any leaks. And we still have our scan tool. There we go. We're good. Couple psi the set point. We're golden. Beautiful. No leaks. on my air cleaner, and we'll take it for a quick test ride. Forgot to tighten the high pressure fuel line. Going from the pump to the fuel rail. I did tighten it. All right, let's take it for a test ride. Get that off the road, right? Whew. We're gonna clear all the codes. Yeah, fuel ventilation system, air purge, minor leak, oxygen sensor, fuel level sensor, air mass, clear fault. Okay, back, view data. Oh, and I did buy that high pressure fuel pump from a guy off of Facebook. He's a diesel mechanic. His hobby was redoing Mini Coopers. He told me, hey, if it doesn't work, you know, initially when I thought it was the high pressure fuel pump, he said, hey, $250, I'll give you your money back. So there's still some good people out there on Facebook Marketplace, and I'm not gonna, since I installed it and already used it, I'm not gonna return it to them, even though my other pump's still good, most likely. We'll just keep that as a spare because they are notorious for going bad. So here we go. Let's go for a little test ride. And my passenger door is open. There we go. Amazing how much that back seat deadens the noise. at like I said, I changed that like 2 years ago, a year and a half ago, maybe more, maybe less. And the low pressure in tank, and so like everything else on foreign cars and BMWs and Volvos, new OEM spec fuel pump is about $600, and that's not even from the dealership, that's from the parts house. So I think the one the original, the one that I changed out like 2 years ago was maybe like $80. This one was just under, this next one was just under 100. So if I got to change fuel pumps every 2 years, you know, for $100 and a little bit of aggravation, I'll do it, because $600 is just way too much. But anyway, that's where we're at, and I have to fly back tomorrow to Virginia, and we'll be back on the CB160, hopefully honing the cylinders out and getting that back together at least a little bit more than it is. And let me know what you think. Like, subscribe, leave a comment, tell me how I'm doing it wrong, please. You know, and at some point we'll get to Old Faithful and put some love into her, because she definitely needs it. So anyway, hope you enjoyed it, and hope you learned something. And if you have a Mini Cooper and you have a question, leave a comment and I'll try to help you out any way I can, because I learned a lot troubleshooting this one. It was literally sidelined for probably about 2 years. Lots of aggravation, lots of different troubleshooting, and then once I did get it up, I had to spend a lot of money, because stuff doesn't like sitting around. Anyway, hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Bye.